Hello, good morning. It's Natalie Zangon. Today is the first day my kids went back to school after the summer. So, with it, it brings a lot of feelings for me. I know a lot of the moms are like ecstatic and excited, some are having a harder time. I'm one of those that's more like in between. Um, it's hard for me, to be honest. I'm really going to miss them. I'm going to miss the craziness of them being at home and like the noises, this and that. But the reality is, what we need to realize as mothers is that our entity and sole purpose of living is not motherhood. When we live our life thinking that our sole entity is motherhood, that puts a lot of responsibility on our children, and with it can bring a lot of resentment, especially with Persians, that a lot of times they say, "Bachahoy man, همه چیز منن." My children are my everything. That's a very, very heavy statement. That means when my child is not there, I have nothing to do. When my child is not paying attention to me, I have no worth. When my child doesn't want to do anything, I don't want to do anything. This is really unhealthy, and it's all about enmeshment. We are responsible for our children. We need to take care of our children, and we need to help them to be raised to be mature, responsible adults. So when we live our life clinging to our children to be the identity of who we are and what we represent into the world, it could lead into us smothering them and not giving them the chance to grow, to have resiliency, to create tolerance, to be able to bounce back and make the best of life, to be able to make choices because they think they are an extension of us and they are our property. So they need to do as we say, and we fall apart when they're not there. But this is not healthy. Even in the Torah, it says, "Ve'ahavta larecha kamocha," love your fellow as yourself, including our children. And the only person that we love in totality and entirely of ourselves is God. Ve'ahavta et Hashem bechol levavecha. Only God we love with all of our heart. So what my message for today is, as hard as it is, and we miss them, and we can't wait, to get to see them. When our children are leaving and they say, "Mommy, what are you going to do when I go? What are you going to be okay when I go?" Our children represent and reflect and manifest back what we show to them. So when our children know that when they go to school, we also have things that we're going to take care of, and we'll be back, we'll be consistent, we'll be there to pick them up, we'll go home together, we'll be eating supper together, doing homework together, gives them a serenity that they're going to be okay. When they say, "I'm going to miss you," and you're so broken on the inside, and you're like, "I'm going to miss you too." And that just adds to the anxiety and the nervousness. Whereas when they say, "I'm going to miss you," say, "I know, Ima, I'm going to miss you too. Tell me about your feelings. What thoughts are coming about you?" Make it about them instead of about you. And the things that are about you, make sure to share it with your good girlfriends, support system of women that you have. Journal to yourself, voice note to yourself, take a walk with your thoughts. Do not put it on your children. It's not their responsibility. So, the book, The Giving Tree, has brought up a lot of feelings for me of unhealthy giving, had no boundaries. And one of the things The Giving Tree kept saying is, "and the tree was alone." This is a very heavy message. We are alone and lonely when we make ourselves think that way. But when we realize that we are always connected to God and we have so much to offer the world, that there's so many things we could do, we will never feel lonely. Even if we could be alone, we will never feel lonely. Thank you so much for listening. This is